Raila Amor Odinga, the people's president, is leading his troops at Jivanji Garden. In attendance are all the Azimio supporters. The attendance is good, if you ask me, because we can see it is on a weekday, a Wednesday to be precise, ladies' night, when everybody in sundry have graced that meeting. This one tells you that people are very keen and they are very eager to listen to their leader, Raila Amolo Odinga. But the most interesting thing that caught my attention is what he called Jivanji prayer point, in which he gave the government 14 days ultimatum, siku za makataa, siku 14, na akawapa mambo ambayo lazima wayatimize, ila sivyo watakiona cha mtema kuni. Watu watachukua mamlaka yao, watu watachukua nguvu zao. This is what Raila said. So he said that for one, the government must bring the cost of living down, kwa sababu kulingana naye, na ni ukweli na ni dhahiri na ni wazi kama meno ya giri, kama huwa anasema mara kwa mara, mambo mengine ni wazi, haihitaji maelezo, kwamba bei ya bidhaa imepada sana. Maisha, gharama ya maisha imefika mahali pengine ambapo mwananchi wa kawaida hayamudu, ameshindwa kabisa. Tena, he has talked about the taxes. The government must stop taxing the people like there's no other thing to do, kwa sababu wanalipishwa kodi na haijawahi kuonekana jambo hili likifika hapa since Kenya became independence. And the good thing, he was able even to read Amos chapter 5 verse 11, where I found also the verse very, very much relevant to William Samoei Ruto's government. So maybe during a free time, you can read the book of Amos in the Bible, chapter 5, verse 11. So he said the costs of living must come down within 14 days. Taxes, the same, within 14 days. He has also said that the school fees must be now put in a way that is manageable, kwa sababu wazazi wengi wameshindwa kulipa karo, kwa sababu serikali imepandisha karo za shule sekondari, hususan sekondari na pia vyuo vikuu, na akasema jambo hili lazima liweze kuangaliwa vizuri sana. Again, he said that it was ill-advised for William Samoei Ruto to remove the subsidies at the height of drought, when the drought was hitting hard, when the rains had failed, and when kila mtu alikuwa analia. Akasema kwamba jambo hili kule kuondoa subsidies was not the best thing in my view, and I think he is right. But the most interesting thing is about the servers. He has said, and as the mayor in general, Raila was only reading the declaration of the Jivanji, the servers must be opened and an independent auditor must audit the servers, ili kuonekane ni kipi ambacho kilikuwa kinaendelea pale. And I've never known why IBC have always found it very, very difficult to open the servers. I've never understood. I don't know whether you have ever understood why these guys have never bothered to open the servers, if they have been genuine. Najua kile wangefanya ni kufungua the servers, watu wajionee, wakishajionea wajue kweli kama Raila hakushida. You know, if we did not win, let them open the servers and prove him wrong, because Raila is saying that the evidence is in the servers that he won the elections with over 8.2 million votes against 5.9 million votes of William Samoei Ruto. Again, he has also talked about IBC, which I believe also that is a good point, that the government must stop reconstituting the IBC. The reconstitution of IBC must stop forthwith. Because all said and done, when you look at it very clearly, and I think he has a point, you realize that it is leaning heavily towards the government. It is favoring William Samoei Ruto's government. And now you know very well that William Samoei Ruto will be a candidate in 2027 if all things remains constant. So how do you expect him to be a fair referee while he himself is a contender and having constituted the IBC without involving Azimio and other stakeholders? So, failure to do all these things, Raila has said that there will be mass action countrywide, and people are going to reclaim their power. People are going to take their power back. And that is the most interesting bit in this video, because we need to ask ourselves, how are people going to get back their power? Tell me, what do you think is in Raila's mind when he say that people are going to take back their power? Because in my view, it means doing away with the current regime. That is the only way that people can take away their power. And in this video, it is very, very important that we come out very clearly that this election has always been contested, even if the Supreme Court said that William Samoei Ruto won the elections. I believe that many people did not agree with the ruling of the Supreme Court. Even if Wafula Chebukati declared William Samoei Ruto as the President of the Republic of Kenya, as the duly elected President of the Republic of Kenya, majority of Kenyans did not Wafula Chebukati. And this means that since William Samoei Ruto believes that he was duly elected by the people, since he believes that he has the mandate, definitely he's going to use force. He's going to use policemen to stop the people from taking back their power. This means there will be a major in this country. Kutakuwa na mgogoro wa hali ya juu sana. Kutakuwa na mgogoro wa hali kali sana. Kutakuwa na taharuki kali sana. Because all said and done, William Samoei Ruto is going to defend his office. Because he believes that he was elected by the people, and he believes that he has the control of all the instruments of power, and he believes that he's controlling all the instruments like the police force, the judiciary, everything, and he's the head of state and head of government. Then is also the head of the chief of the armed forces, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Then it means he's going to use the police force. And once now, you can imagine when the policemen, when they meet with the people, as people take back their power, this is when I believe it will be even inevitable kuona kwamba vifo vikitokea. Inaweza kuwa ni hali gumu sana. Inaweza kuwa ni hali ya taharuki sana. Itakuwa ni hali ambayo labda haijawahi kuonekana katika nchi hii. Because it is the first time that people are claiming or want to take back their power. Again, people cannot be stopped from taking back their power. Because as per the Constitution, all the power belongs to the people. The people believe that all power belongs to them. And the framers of the Constitution were alive that something like this is likely to happen in this country. That is why they said that people can take back their power. Because what we know is that they have delegated their powers. They have delegated their powers to the executive. They have delegated their powers to the legislature. And now, when it means taking back their power, it means even the executive has to go. It means even the legislature has to go. It means even the judiciary has to be reconstituted. That is the meaning of taking back the power. That is what it means when people take back their power. It is not only the executive. And I think that is something that people need to understand. That it is not only the executive when Raila talks about people taking back their power. And I've said, people cannot be stopped, by the way. Nothing can stop the people from taking back their power because it belongs to them. Again, Ruto is not somebody just to give power like that. When you look at William Samoei Ruto, when you observe William Samoei Ruto, you realize that is somebody who does not give in very easily. You realize that it's not somebody who is even ready to negotiate with anybody. You realize that is the one who believes that the presidency is a matter of life and death, for sure. Unlike Moi Kibaki, unlike Arap Moi, unlike Uhuru Kenyatta, he has said many times that he's not ready to negotiate with Raila Amolo Odinga. So this means the conflict will be major. And you expect him not to give in very easily. Because ni kama kujaribu kumwambia Siba achane na ule mnofu ambao anabugia mdomoni mwake. I do think it is easy to stop a lion from kule kuguna ule mnofu wa mnyama ambayo imenona kabisa. It will be very, very difficult. And that is why I'm saying that we are likely to have a major conflict in this country. Again, mass action will be inevitable. Because again, when you look at Raila Amolo Odinga is another guy who is not easily to push easy. Sio mtu wa kuvuta hivi. Raila Amolo Odinga is so much determined to bring the changes, and I think he's unstoppable. And this time when you look at Raila Amolo Odinga, you realize that even Mother Karua, he's determined to go all the way to the end, no matter the consequences. And you know, Raila Amolo Odinga has been on the trenches. Because what we are seeing a very different Raila Amolo Odinga. We are not seeing the Raila Amolo Odinga who was the man of the handshake. We are seeing a Raila Amolo Odinga who was there in the 90s. The man now has a lot of energy. The man is so much determined. The man looks very unstoppable. He is unstoppable when you look at him. So you can imagine now Raila Amolo Odinga, who is unstoppable, who is not easily to give in to the demands of the Azimio. So that's why I'm saying that we shall have a major conflict in this country. Again, if this happens, we are likely to have an ungovernable country. Kenya may become ungovernable, by the way, if the current trend continues. Because you see, the economy is hurting, the people are hurting, and nothing seems to be working in this country. And life is moving maybe in a very, very fast lane. It's in a fast lane, and people don't have money. People don't have food on the table. The njaa ndio hiyo, ukame kila mahali, mifugo ndio hawa nakufa kama nzi, na then the country will be ungovernable, by the way. Because when you look at it, and we look at the youth, because they're the majority in this country, when you look at the youth, most of them are very much dissatisfied with the way the government is operating. They are very much dissatisfied with the way the economy is growing because of joblessness. Kuna hali inaweza ikatokea serikali ikajipata katika hali gumu sana, hata kutawala kukawa ni kazi gumu sana. Again, I can see the United Nations and the African Union intervening in the Kenyan case. Because I believe the United Nations and the African Union cannot let Kenya sink. They cannot let the Kenya sink into the drains. Wawezi wakaachilia hivi. Now, because I believe even what is happening now has already caught the attention of the major powers in this country. It has caught the attention of America, I believe, because America has vested interest in this country because of the fact that United Nations is housed in our country. And when you look at Africa, Kenya is strategically placed. When you look at Africa, you realize that Kenya is a gateway to so many countries. And a number of investors from Britain, because Britain, especially the Commonwealth countries led by Britain, are very, very much interested with our country. So I believe they are going to intervene. I believe they are going to step in. Kwa sababu ukiangalia utaona kwamba yale mambo ambayo yanatokea katika nchi ya Kenya is only through a mediator. This country needs mediation. If it is not that way, I think the honest thing for you to just resign and maybe say that now that my legitimacy has been questioned, now my legitimacy has been put into test, now that the cost of living has gone very high, and there's nothing we can do. What is likely to do? What I'm going to do? it is not good for me to let the country sink as I watch. I don't know what you think, but if you ask me, William Samoei Ruto need to do something, and the best thing, if you ask me, is either negotiate with Raila Amolo Odinga or step down and the country go back to a fresh general election. Guys, is coming the towards Money Black Africa. Remember to like this video. Remember to subscribe. And may you have a blessed evening. Till next time. Bye-bye.